India is all set to join Pax Silica, a US-led strategic alliance launched in December 2025 to secure the global AI and semiconductor supply chain. The move is aimed at reducing dependence on non-aligned allied nations and strengthening cooperation among trusted partners in critical technologies. India's entry is expected to significantly boost bilateral ties between New Delhi and Washington, particularly in production of critical minerals, semiconductor manufacturing, and the rapidly evolving artificial intelligence ecosystem. This development also comes at a crucial time as India and the United States work to finalize a proposed trade deal and stabilize economic ties after a period of strain triggered by tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump. Apart from the United States, Pax Silica includes developed nations such as Australia, Greece, Israel, Japan, Qatar, South Korea, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. Now, what is Pax Silica? Pax Silica is a US-led strategic initiative focused on securing AI and semiconductor supply chains. Launched in December 2025, the initiative aims to build a secure, innovation-driven global silicon ecosystem. It is designed to deepen cooperation among trusted allies and counter China's dominance. Well, now let's cut across to Sundar Pichai speaking at the India AI Impact Summit.
And ladies and gentlemen, today marks an important milestone as India formally joins Pax Silica, a forward-looking partnership aimed at strengthening secure and resilient technology ecosystems. At a time when emerging technologies are reshaping global competitiveness and economic security, trusted partnerships are essential. This declaration reflects a shared commitment by India and the United States to advance responsible innovation and resilient infrastructure. We are honored to have with us senior leadership from both the governments, alongside distinguished representatives from industry and also the diplomatic community. Without any further ado, may I now respectfully invite our distinguished dignitaries to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome as they make their way to the stage. It's an honor to have such distinguished leadership this morning, Excellencies. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll proceed with brief remarks ahead of the signing ceremony. May I please invite Honorable Jacob Hellberg, Under-Secretary of State for Economic Affairs, the United States, to deliver his remarks. I request Honorable Jacob Hellberg, Under-Secretary of State for Economic Affairs, to please present his address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to wait for a couple of minutes for Under-Secretary Mr. Jacob Hellberg. He's on his way and he would be here with us very soon. It's an important occasion, especially when we talk of Pax Silica. It's a historic agreement between the two governments.
Well, India is now all set to join Pax Silica. The grouping is rooted in what Washington likes to call deep cooperation among aligned nations to protect critical technologies. The initiative seeks to secure and diversify global AI and semiconductor supply chains, reduce reliance on any single nation for critical technologies, promote trusted collaboration in advanced manufacturing, build resilient digital infrastructure, foster innovation across member states, establish a long-term framework for AI-driven economic growth. Now, what India brings to the table? India enters Pax Silica with significant strengths. New Delhi and Washington already share a strong history of technology collaboration. India's digital infrastructure is expanding rapidly and its AI ecosystem is witnessing strong growth. The government has launched dedicated AI and semiconductor missions, backed by substantial funding as well, and this comes at the sideline of India AI Summit happening in New Delhi as we speak. There is a rising number of AI startups, increasing private sector participation, and a large pool of highly skilled engineers and PhD graduates. India is also deepening semiconductor partnership with Japan and Singapore, who are also members of Pax Silica. However, India's entry also presents some complexities. It would be the first developing country to join Pax Silica. India would also be the first non-US treaty ally, though a strategic partner, within the grouping. This could create an expectation gap between India and other high-income member states. New Delhi will seek to protect its strategic autonomy while participating in the alliance. At the same time, India is likely to continue supporting its domestic semiconductor industry through subsidies, procurement preferences, and calibrated import regulation policies that may not always align seamlessly with Washington's economic approach. For now, India is all set to join the US-led Pax Silica, an initiative and a bloc to counter China's dominance in the semiconductor and AI market. And now India joins the bloc to deepen cooperation in technology-led development. This will be a major boost to India's semiconductor mission and its renowned focus on AI-led development. Well, India's entry in this Pax Silica will boost India-US technological ties, and it comes at a time where India-US ties were strained due to the tariff imposed by US President Donald Trump. Although a framework of a trade deal has been reached and India and US are working closely to finalize a proper trade deal between the two countries, and now India is all set to be part of a US-led bloc, Pax Silica. US promoted the bloc, saying that it is to reduce dependence on non-aligned nations and to build cooperation among trusted partners in critical technologies. It aims to reduce China's monopoly in rare earth supply, semiconductors, and AI. This will be an important boost for India's semiconductor mission, its AI ambitions, and technological-led development. India, which is home to a youthful and young talented pool, will bring significant strength to the bloc. India provides a young market for the bloc members and a growing IT sector. India already has growing partnership with Japan, Singapore, and Israel, which are also key allies and partners of the Pax Silica. Although it is the first developing nation to join the Pax Silica, and now, in a spectacular tribute to India's growing influence in artificial intelligence, the iconic Burj Khalifa lit up for the Indian AI Impact Summit 2026. The world's tallest building shone bright in a symbolic gesture, celebrating India's leap in AI and innovation. The dazzling display, visuals on your screen right now, stands as a powerful reflection of the strengthening partnership between India and the UAE in the fields of technology and artificial intelligence. As the global spotlight turns to the India AI Impact Summit 2026, the illumination of the Burj Khalifa marks not just a celebration, but a statement. India's AI ambitions are now taking center stage on the world platform. And now, as India is joining the Pax Silica officially, Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, has something to say at the summit. Listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Minister of Electronics and IT, Government of India, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnaw, and Mr. Sundar Pichai, Chief Executive Officer, Google and Alphabet, as they join us. I invite Mr. Pichai and Honorable Minister, I invite Mr. Pichai to address this gathering. We've all been waiting for him, and welcome to Summit, sir. The stage is yours. We're looking forward to listening to your address.
Good morning. Morning. Undersecretary Helberg, Ambassador Gore, Minister Vaishnaw, Secretary Krishnan, and Director Kratsios. Thank you for the opportunity to return to the stage and to mark this important occasion in US-India relations. Yesterday, at the opening session, I shared some thoughts on this profound moment with AI. I said we are on the cusp of an era of hyper-progress and new discoveries, but the best outcomes are not guaranteed. We must work together to ensure the benefits of AI are available to everyone and everywhere. The US-India partnership has a critical role to play. Google is proud to serve as a connection point between them, both figuratively and literally. More on this later. We have teams across both countries working seamlessly together on some of our most important initiatives. Innovations that start in India, like Google Pay, are making products better for people all over the world. I believe India is going to have an extraordinary trajectory with AI, and we are supporting with a full stack commitment, including products, skilling, and infrastructure. First, products. We are working on building AI products and solutions for Indian consumers and businesses. To empower India's incredible developer community, we've already contributed 22 Gemma models to AI Kosh. And we are working closely with the government to bring AI applications with real-world impact, be it through delivering timely monsoon forecasts to farmers, helping healthcare workers screen for diseases like diabetic retinopathy, or making information and services accessible in more languages. Our commitment extends to reimagining the products people use every day. As one example, AI is changing the way people use search. Indian users are amongst the highest adopters of voice and visual search globally. Our scam detection features with Circle to Search and Lens are used in India more than anywhere else. The Gemini app is growing rapidly across the world, and it's available in 10 languages spoken in India. And YouTube supports a vibrant ecosystem of Indian content creators sharing music, arts, and culture with the world. Second, skilling. Through the AI Skill House, we are working to equip 10 million future Indian leaders with the tools to drive global progress. We are also partnering with Vadvani AI to reach students and early career professionals with a Google AI certificate, which we announced earlier this week. Third, infrastructure. Last year, we announced a $15 billion investment in Indian infrastructure with the AI hub in Vizag at the center. This hub will house gigawatt-scale compute. When finished, it will bring jobs and the benefits of cutting-edge AI to people and businesses across India. Building on this, we recently announced the India-America Connect initiative, which will deliver new subsea cable routes to connect the US, India, and multiple locations across the Southern Hemisphere. Combined with our existing cable systems, this initiative will significantly expand the digital trade routes and serve as a literal bridge between our two countries. Of course, none of this would be possible without stable supply chains built on a foundation of shared trust. Products, subsea cables, AI hubs are all dependent on a complex flow of goods and components across borders. Pax Silica focuses on making sure that these supply chains are safe and secure and encourages greater commercial partnerships across key technologies. So let me congratulate the US and India on this historic moment. Alongside the recent trade agreement, this will lay a strong foundation for a robust US-India tech partnership for many years to come. Thank you.
And with that, it's time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather. Keep watching News 9.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.
Welcome back, and now our top focus is India all set to formally join Pax Silica, US-led strategic alliance launched in December 2025. Let's cut across to the event.
We all know they won't. Peace comes through strength. India understands this. India understands strong borders. India understands this part of the world. That strength, that sovereignty, is exactly what Pax Silica amplifies. Because here's the truth. Strength multiplies when Minister Vaishnaw and Minister Jaishankar traveled to Washington in recent weeks. They came as partners, forging the future. Their discussions on critical minerals were about interdependency among strong actors, about building supply chains that will not be held hostage. America is building coalitions of the capable and the willing. We're ensuring the technologies that will define the next century, AI, space, and advanced semiconductors, are developed, deployed, and controlled by free nations. And we're doing it in a partnership with the world's largest democracy, a nation of 1.4 billion people that share our values and our vision. We welcome India joining to co-found the future. Pax Silica is about whether free societies will control the commanding heights of the global economy. It's about whether innovation happens in Bengaluru and Silicon Valley or in surveillance states that use technology to monitor and control their people. We choose freedom, we choose partnership, we choose strength. And today, with India's entry into Pax Silica, we choose to win. Thank you all.
And also for the shared vision that underpins today's milestone. May I now request Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw to address the August gathering.
Lots of young people here. कैसा जोश है? पता नहीं चला. अभी भी पता नहीं चला. आपकी जनरेशन में कोई अलग तरीका भी है? Loud cheer. Yes. अब पता चला कि there is some जोश. एक बार और. Excellent. Good. Now we start. एक और. भारत माता की. भारत माता की. ये रियल जोश है. Thank you very much, Under Secretary Helberg, Mr. Crestios, Ambassador Gore, Sundar, Sanjay, the entire team which has worked, Secretary Krishnan. I would like to extend my special thanks to Minister Jaishankar, Minister Piyush Goyal, and to the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has made all this possible, this entire AI Impact Summit, the silicon supply chain that we are building, and that huge set of new opportunities which are coming for the young population which is here. Give a big round of applause for the entire team which has worked for it. We are not just holding a summit here. We are building the future. We are laying the foundation for the young generation. आप सबकी जनरेशन के लिए एक नया फाउंडेशन बन रहा है, एक नया आपके लिए नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज आए, उस सब की आज नींव रखी जा रही है, जिससे आने वाले समय में आप लोग अपनी जर्नी वहां तक लेके जाए जहां भारत को एक विकसित भारत बनाने का सपना है. भारत आज एक यंग नेशन है, 28 years मीडियन एज, लंबी ग्रोथ का पाथ है. 2047 में भी भारत एक यंग नेशन रहेगा with 37 years की मीडियन एज. And that means beyond 2047 also there will be a growth period of another 50 years. Another 50 years. उस ग्रोथ के भागीदार आप होंगे, उस ग्रोथ को बनाने वाले आप सब यंग माइंड्स होंगे, उस ग्रोथ का जो बेनिफिट लेना है उसका भी, उसके भागीदार भी आप सब होंगे. 1947 से अगर यही स्पिरिट रहती तो कितनी कंपाउंडिंग हो गई होती भारत की ग्रोथ में, वी कैन ऑल इमेजिन. कोई दिक्कत नहीं, 2014 से ही सही. अब इस कंपाउंडिंग का बेनिफिट आपकी जनरेशन को मिलेगा. I would like to thank all the participants and special thanks to the efforts done by Ambassador Sergio Gore, Under Secretary Helberg, and Mr. Crestios for making India part of the Pax Silica. And there are good reasons for it. Today, our talented engineers are designing the most complex, most advanced 2 nanometer chips here in India. 2 nanometer chips. और दोस्तों, 2 नैनोमीटर चिप्स, 2 नैनोमीटर की चिप्स दुनिया में डिजाइन करने वाले लोग इस हाथ से ज्यादा काउंट नहीं कर सकते. ये कैपेबिलिटी हमारे इंजीनियर्स की है. We all know semiconductor industry will need about 1 million more talented people. 1 million more. 10 लाख से ज्यादा सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री में टैलेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट है. 10 लाख लोगों की. वो टैलेंट कहां से आएगा? कहां से आएगा? कहां से आएगा? यहीं से आएगा. और उसकी तैयारी कैसे की है? 315 यूनिवर्सिटीज, 315 यूनिवर्सिटीज. आज स्टूडेंट्स के पास में वर्ल्ड के बेस्ट सेमीकंडक्टर डिजाइन टूल्स हैं, सिनॉप्सिस के, कैडेंस के, सीमेंस के, और एब्सोल्युटली फ्री. स्टूडेंट्स को 1 रुपया भी वहां पे कॉस्ट नहीं देनी पड़ती. और इसका रिजल्ट आया है. ये 22 में प्रोग्राम चालू किया था. आज आसाम से, जम्मू कश्मीर से, उड़ीसा से, राजस्थान से, छत्तीसगढ़ से, तेलंगाना से, केरल से, तमिलनाडु से, सब जगह से स्टूडेंट्स चिप्स डिजाइन कर रहे हैं कुछ लोग हैं जो चिप्स कहते हैं, पोटैटो चिप्स याद आती है उनको। छोड़ो उनको, वो अभी थोड़ा रोना धोना है उनका, चलता रहेगा। कभी पार्लियामेंट में रोते हैं, कभी कहाँ रोते हैं। चलता रहेगा वो सब। तो हमें आगे बढ़ना है। देश को एक दिशा, एक क्लियर एम, एक क्लियर गोल है देश के सामने, और उसमें है सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री में, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंडस्ट्री में लीडरशिप लेनी है दुनिया की। आज जब 315 यूनिवर्सिटीज और कॉलेजेस के नौजवान चिप डिजाइन करते हैं, उनके लिए SCL मोहाली में चिप को फैब्रिकेट करने की, मैन्युफैक्चर करने की, टेस्ट करने की फैसिलिटी है, अगेन फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। एक जब स्टूडेंट निकले कॉलेज से, सेमीकंडक्टर की बात केवल डिस्कशन में नहीं रहनी चाहिए, कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ जाना चाहिए। जब इंटरव्यू में बैठे, जब स्टार्टअप VC के सामने जाए, मैंने ये चिप डिजाइन की है, ये चिप वर्किंग है, ये वैलिडेटेड है, ये सर्टिफिकेट है, मैं जानता हूं इस सब्जेक्ट को। उस कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ हमारे नौजवान आज इंडस्ट्री में जा रहे हैं। तो ये 1 मिलियन का टैलेंट भारत से ही आएगा, और ये 315 का नंबर हर हफ्ते बढ़ रहा है। हम लोग शुरुआत जब की थी 50 यूनिवर्सिटीज का सोचा था, बहुत तेजी से वी वेंट टू 100 यूनिवर्सिटीज, और तेजी से गए 150, 200, अब 300 यूनिवर्सिटीज में। अभी हाल ही में डावोस में सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री का राउंड टेबल था। मैंने इंडस्ट्री को ऐसे ही पूछा कि भाई बताओ, दुनिया में कितने देश है जहां पे, कितनी यूनिवर्सिटीज है जहां पे कैडेंस, सिनॉप्सिस, सीमेंस, सारे के सारे डिजाइन EDA टूल्स स्टूडेंट्स को अवेलेबल है। काउंट करने लगे, 20 से ज्यादा काउंट नहीं कर पाए पूरी दुनिया में, भारत में 315। ये कैपेबिलिटी अपने को डेवलप करनी, ये स्केल डेवलप करना है, और दुनिया में भारत आज एक ट्रस्टेड कंट्री की तरह देखा जाता है। इंडिया इज अ ट्रस्टेड कंट्री, एंड दैट्स बिकॉज आवर प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी has conducted the foreign policy in a way where the trust and respect, the respect of a 5,000-year-old civilization, that gravitas, that जो भारत की civilization का ठहराव है, वो ठहराव आज दुनिया मानती है, वो ग्रेविटास आज दुनिया मानती है, और इसीलिए भारत पे ट्रस्ट है। उस ट्रस्ट के कारण आज पैक्स सिलिका का हिस्सा भारत बन रहा है। मैं वेलकम करता हूं आप सबको, और विशेषकर जो साथी US साइड में काम किए थे, आप तीनों को my biggest gratitude to all the 3 honorable guests from the US for taking out time to be part of this Pax Silica signing, and I'll now request the Pax Silica signing ceremony to be done. Thank you दोस्तों, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। Thank you.
बहुत बहुत आभार माननीय मंत्री जी, आपके ऊर्जावान, प्रेरणादायक और दूरदर्शी संबोधन के लिए। Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite the signatories to kindly proceed to the dais. Under Secretary, Mr. Jacob Hellberg, His Excellency Ambassador Sergio Gore and Honorable Ministers already on the stage. I also invite Shri S. Krishnan, Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, and Mr. Michael Kratsios, Director, OSTP, US. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the Pax Silica Declaration is being signed between India and the United States of America. Pax Silica Declaration is being signed by Honorable Under Secretary Jacob Hellberg, His Excellency Ambassador Sergio Gore, and the Secretary Mr. S. Krishnan. And now Once the declaration has been signed by the respected signatories, the declaration will be exchanged.
Well, I'm being joined by News9 Deputy Managing Editor. Kartikeya Sharma is with me on the phone line. Kartikeya, India has now formally joined Pax Silica. What does India stands to gain from after joining this bloc?
It is a very important development that has taken place. And the reason why this development is important, because it puts India in the league of those countries who are part of an alliance with the United States of America, who gets to be part of a world where exchange of material used in AI, silicon, chips is easily available. You know, Pax Silica was earlier signed between Korea and other countries which were supposed to be, or for example, even Gulf countries were part of it, but India was not there. And the announcement, if I recall the word correctly, was it was an alliance of these friendly countries. Now India is being added, which is very, very important. Earlier, India was not there. So it was a bit of a setback to us. Secondly, with this, I would say what India gets is an unrestricted access to not only market, but technology. AI summit, tech summits are built on rare earth materials. And Pax Silica, which is a result of a lot of work done between India and America, is about friendly and trusted countries to ensure that key technologies are safe, reliable, and not controlled by hostile parties. As I was telling you, this is to reduce corrosive dependencies, build secure and prosperous innovation-driven silicon supply chain for critical minerals and energy inputs to advanced manufacturing, semiconductor, their infrastructure, and logistics. And as I told you, that India was left out earlier, where Japan, Republic of Korea, Singapore, Netherlands, UK, Israel, UAE, and Australia were part of it. Now, with the Sergio Gore arriving in India, I think there's been considerable movement in context of US-India relationship. And this also, takes into cognizance communication technology systems, fiber optic cables, data centers, foundational models, applications, something which, China is making a lot of, I would say, rapid advances in. So, the future, Nancy, of, I would say, AI or silicon material, or, for example, subsea cables, they will be all interlinked. We have to see them, without the silos. They are one and the same thing. If we talk about silicon, as a material, then we are not only talking about, say, AI. We are also talking about chips. We are also talking about data centers. We are also talking about subsea cables. We are talking about technologies. We are talking about human resources who make it. We are talking about machines who make it. We are talking about friendly countries who participate in it. We are talking about custodian of ship of that technology, because ultimately, just being an end user doesn't solve things. India needs to be on that path of progress. We are also the makers of it, the coders of it, the amplifiers of it. It has to be trained in our model also, the language model also. So I think Pax Silica is sort of a signal that our ties are getting repaired with the United States of America. So there is lack of confidence because what Trump did, because he continues to harp on what happened during Operation Sindoor. But at least now certain, I would say, improvement or certain baby steps are being taken to help take care of each other's needs. India is a big market. America needs this market. We also need American technology, access to that technology, access how to make that technology. And then also India needs to safeguard against China. There is no mincing the word that our biggest existential threat is not Pakistan, it's China. China may talk about the growth of two Asian giants, but it never considers India as its equal. If you look at the behavior of China, India is not considered to be equal. With equal, you come to conclusion in terms of problem issues. You don't let the problems persist. You only let the problem persist if you think the other person is weak, or you can get the better of that person or that country in long run. And China has kept that problem of border and so many other issues pending. Plus, it's very all the relationship with Pakistan. So I would say that Pax is a very good movement, at least in terms of India, in terms of technology, in terms of access to material. Though, again, the material which is rare earth is highly concentrated in some countries, Chile, Patagonia, parts of Patagonia, China, other parts of Africa, some parts of Africa like Congo, where Chinese presence is substantial. And let's not miss the bigger point. The Venezuela was bombed and Madros were taken into custody when the Chinese high-level delegation was present in Caracas. So I think it's a very strong message. And, I think the global policy has shifted. Trade policy, economic policy is now the security policy of the country. Nancy.
Kartikeya, there are a few players in the chip market when we talk about it. There is US, there is Taiwan, there's China who are leading the global chip race. Do you think that India will finally be able to catch up to this race?
India has a long way to go. We might be making our chips, but with the miniaturization of chip market, it's a long haul. I'm very optimistic that India is going to leapfrog into this revolution. But let me tell you, the only successful leapfrogging which we have witnessed has come from China. In 70s, 80s, leapfrogging was witnessed in Japan, and the so-called 80s, the sun economies, the rising sun economies, the Koreas, Japan. Why? Because of trade, because of manufacturing, car, entertainment, garments, camera, technology, all those things which we, used to, which we are very comfortable using today, were made by the Koreans and the Japanese. Even today, Koreans lead in the so-called Android market, cell phone. So after that, in terms of security, in terms of defense, the only country that has done leapfrogging in terms of technology is China. A lot of people attribute it to reverse engineering. Some people say it's because of the sort of heavy-duty espionage that the Chinese have done in America, stealing their secrets away and reverse engineering their technologies. Maybe the Russians couldn't do it. But, India does not operate like that. We're not an auto-catcher country.
Thank you so much, Kartikeya, for joining me on the broadcast. But for now, India's entry is going to significantly boost the bilateral ties between the New Delhi and the Washington, particularly in the production of critical minerals, semiconductor manufacturing, and the rapidly evolving artificial intelligence ecosystem. Well, let's listen in to US Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, and what he had to say on this historic development.
This month, we concluded the interim trade agreement, a deal that shapes the economic contours of the Indo-Pacific. We overcame friction points that had held us back for far too long. That agreement wasn't just about trade flows or tariff schedules. It was about two great democracies saying we will build together, not just buy from one another. And now today, we take the next step. India joins Pax Silica, the coalition that will define the 21st century economic and technological order.